Hey everybody, it's Derek Cook again with another Man Cave review. This one is actually special for me. I just got back from the Milwaukee Ice Fishing Show and I found a fantastic new product that deserves a little exposure, and I've got it with me here. This is from a company called Carlyd, C-A-R-L-Y-D, and this is what they currently call the Genie Jar. My understanding is that it might be changing its name, so it will also be known as the Bait Up Bait Jar. And this is just an exceptionally cool product. It's very, very simple in its concept design. It has two lids. You can see that you can open both ends of this container. And on the inside, it has a round mesh sleeve with a floating styrofoam end embedded in the mesh. And this simple invention has a huge effect on me. I love to fish from my canoe, and I love to fish streamside as well. And often if I'm fishing in my canoe, I don't want to be towing a heavy live bait container, a heavy minnow bucket. And when I'm shore fishing often, my buddies and I will catch, we'll get one bucket of minnows, and then one guy's got the minnows, and there's 5 or 6 guys fishing, and what do? This little container solves all of those problems. This Bait Up Bait Jar, a Genie Jar, is exceptional because you can open one end of this jar when you go to the bait shop, and you can put your minnows, instead of putting them in a bag, you can actually put them in this jar. So that's one of the first things is that solves that first problem of where do you put your bait. It's in a bag, the bag can leak, there's no leaks. You can put this jar directly into your cooler if you want to keep this cold. So it's a great initial storage container for minnows, but it goes well beyond that. I've got one here that's rigged. This one has a lanyard on it that I'll take off really quickly just for demonstration. Now I've put some grubs in this container so you can see what this container does. Obviously when this container is held vertically, those grubs, if they were minnows, would have the entire container to swim in. Of course, if they're slightly larger minnows, you can just put it laterally and there's no leaking, and those minnows can swim through the entire length of this bait jar. But when you want a minnow out of this bait jar, you can pop it like this, and that floating mesh slowly lifts and it forces the minnows to the top of the container. And when you open the top of this bait jar, this Bait Up Bait Jar, that mesh will protrude slightly from the top, and you can simply reach in and you can grab a minnow. So this is exciting for me from a shore fishing application or from a canoeing application. Just an exceptional little invention. Instead of using minnow nets where you're scooping up 3 or 4 at a time, instead of chasing minnows in a minnow bucket, instead of trailing something heavy in the canoe with me and paddling against a weight in the canoe, or instead of having to walk 50 feet to my buddy who's got the minnows in a minnow bucket near him, now me and my friends can all have our own minnows. We can carry them with us. When we want one, we simply invert the jar. They're forced to the top of the jar. We can crack it open, grab a minnow, put it back on, and we're good to go. I've also had fun with this. If you do want to, you'll know here that, or you'll see here that the floating mesh doesn't come out the other end of the jar. It only comes out one end of the jar, and this means that this end is constantly secured. Minnows can't escape this end. The mesh won't come through. If I have the lanyard end here, and I open this end up, I can actually keep this open while I'm in my canoe for constant oxygenation of those minnows. I do have to wait at times to keep it down under the water, but that way I don't need to replenish the water in this at all as I'm canoeing. And I can simply give it a tug when I need new live bait, if I'm on a walleye harness or something else, a bait rig, and get new bait on there. So you can also pop an ice cube in either the top or the bottom if you want to cool your bait down. For ice fishing, it's a fantastic presentation because that in its native state is a floating container, so you can simply drill a hole. If you've got one bait bucket in the middle of your group, if you've got 10, 12 guys, you can simply drill an extra hole and put this bait jar right in the ice water, right beside your hole. Often I drill 2 holes, one for my flasher, one to fish in, and this one simply goes in the flasher hole along with the flasher. So just an outstanding invention. It does come in 2 sizes. This is the Cipher, and this larger jar is the Optimus. I really like both of them. In fact, you can see here with my Cipher, I purchased a bunch of these at the Milwaukee Show. I actually have inside this Cipher a little terminal tackle kit. So it's, even the smallest version is big enough to accommodate some terminal tackle, a bobber, some hooks, and some weights for my kids. So when I go live bait fishing now, when I'm just doing a simple live bait trip with my kids, whether it be actually worms or minnows, I can actually grab this container, and that's all I carry. It has my hooks. It's got some walking weights, some drop shot weights. It's got some hooks. This is all I need. So not only does it do a great job of keeping my live bait, my minnows, healthy and gives me a portable live bait container, but it also doubles on my way to pick up the minnows as a small tackle box. So now, as long as I grab this, I'm good to go. Walleye, bass, something simple. And again, serves as a small functional tackle box, serves as an outstanding live bait container for minnows or for hellgrammites or for crayfish, whatever you're fishing at that time. Just an absolutely simple and exceptional invention from Carlyd. Good on you guys for getting this done. This is a wonderful invention. Wishing you all the success in the world. You can look for it online. It's available at select locations in Canada from what I saw online, and it's available in many, many different locations in the United States at this point. They're having a lot of success, and it's something that, in my opinion, deserves a place in every tackle box, or it can become a tackle box for every live bait angler out there. Very impressed with this product, and good on you guys. And have fun, everybody, as you're fishing this spring, and play safe.